champagne will be coming to you, and I want to first of all thank everyone for coming out. For those of you I have not yet met, I am Dwayne Darling. I'm the father of the bride. So it's wonderful to see all of you here, and a beautiful event stage. And I want to thank the staff here at Bliss Plaza. I want to thank Bliss Catering. I want to thank Dr. Bartending, and I want to thank Kim and Derek, our DJs tonight, and all the other vendors and people who helped out. I also want to give a special shout out to my very mother who did the decorating for us. I also want to give thanks to the Tapley and Whisenhunt families for raising an amazing young man. I want to tell you a little bit about my little girl here.
Oh, God. Here we go. Get your tissues.
Every dad thinks his daughter's a miracle, but my daughter really is, and I think I can prove that. First of all, I did not know, because of a medical condition I had early in my life, that I could even father a child. And in fact, I didn't believe that I could. I remember when my wife Cheryl and I got married in 1993. They say it's good luck, by the way, if it rains on your wedding day. We were married in a torrential downpour that flooded the entire Midwest in 1993. Married in July of 93. And in Labor Day of 1993, where my good friend Jeff Roach, who's here with his lovely wife Sharon, we were at his parents' house in Hot Springs, Arkansas, visiting them on Lake Hamilton over the Labor Day weekend. My good friend Mark Chechik was there. My sister Cindy was there. And Cheryl comes up to me and says, we need to stop and get a test kit. I said, why do you think there's rain on in the house? No, not that kind of test kit. I said, what? And so we stopped at the store and we got a test kit, and she said, hi, Daddy. So she said, do you want to tell everybody or do you want to keep it to yourself? And I said, like I can keep that to myself. So we told everyone, and I think Cindy cried, and it was crazy. Whoops, I hate when that happens. That's okay. She was born on a solar eclipse in 1994, May of 1994. And you can look that up on Google. There was a solar eclipse in May of 1994. And Cheryl went into labor on Friday night, and all Friday night, and all day Saturday, and all Saturday night, into the morning on Sunday, and no baby. And something that Cheryl reminds Morgan of every year on her birthday is that she spent over 40 hours in labor.
Whoops.
And
Karma. Baby.
Yeah, you better hope Karma doesn't catch on that one, baby. Anyway, Sunday morning, our doctor, Mark Larson, I remember him coming to me and saying, every time Cheryl has a contraction, baby's heart is stopping. I think Cheryl would say, the heart, as a cardiac nurse, the heart decelerated, right? Okay. But it, needless to say, freaked me out a little bit. So they said, we're going to have to go into an emergency C-section. Well, they gave Cheryl an epidural that didn't take it, so they had to put her under general anesthesia. So I was scared, and I wanted to be in the operating room, and they scrubbed me up, and they put me in a blue suit from head to toe, and I looked like Papa Smurf. And I sat at her head and held her hand during the surgery, and I remember very distinctly the OBGYN bringing out this little wrinkled up purple thing and holding her up and saying, female, 12:02 p.m. And then they suctioned her off and they wrapped her in this little blue wrap and they handed her to me. And her little eyes were for the first time. And that was the first thing she ever saw. Papa Smurf. And I looked in those deep eyes and I saw every generation of my family on both sides and every generation of Cheryl's family as far back as anyone can remember. And it really hit. So, she definitely was a miracle. And I've got a lot of funny stories. I can tell how we tell them. I'll tell a couple. One of my favorites, she was about, maybe just barely 18 months. She was just walking and toddling, and she got a new pair of cowgirl boots, white cowgirl boots, for Christmas. And she was sitting in my sister's lap at Christmas, and Cindy helped put her little boots on, and she got up on the living room coffee table and started dancing around, yelling, "Shoes!" Not great, little one know that. One of my other favorites, she was maybe 2.5. She was still in high chair, and I was having a bunch of the guys over. A lot of my friends like to come over and do a deck party at my house from time to time, and they bring their guitars and we all sit around and play music and sing and stuff like that. And I made ribs for everybody, and Morgan had a baby back rib, and she had just a death grip on this thing. And she puts it in her mouth and she just bites off a big piece, like pieces of pork are spewing everywhere. And I had the camcorder. And I picked it up and I put the camcorder on. And I said, "Morgan, what are you eating?" And she says, "Meat." And I said, "What kind of meat?" She said, "Pig meat." And she's got barbecue sauce from like ear to ear. She had some disturbing characteristics. I remember she had a whole bunch of little farm animals.
You know. Yep.
She had these little farm animals she got from her grandparents who have a farm out in Kansas. And she'd light these little farm animals up along the railing of the deck, and she'd flick them off and she would go, she'd tie her Barbies around the neck of the string, put them on the ceiling fan, and watch them fly. I posted a picture the other day of her. I remember one time at my grandmother's house, there was a bowl of milk on the floor, and she got down on her hands and knees and was lapping the milk out of the bowl. And I said, "What are you doing, Morgan?" She said, "My name is not Morgan. I'm Princess, and I'm a puppy." I remember her watching Alice in Wonderland 3,574 times in a row. So when Tyler talks about her loving Disney movies more than an 8-year-old, yeah, I have no problem with that one. One of my favorite stories, we had the privilege of being able to go to Ireland when she was about 8 years old, and we stayed in a castle because the girls wanted to stay in a castle. So we found a castle called Ballynahinch in the 12 Benz Mountains. And it was the castle of the pirate Grace O'Malley. And so the girls thought this was cool, staying in a girl pirate's castle. Right? So they made a mistake with our room. Anyway, they gave us one of the rooms as an upgrade to the concierge level, so we let the girls have that one. And there was this good-looking Irish fellow with the blue eyes and the black hair and the tuxedo and the drape over his arm. And Morgan walks right up to him and looks him in the eye and says, "Very well, servant." And he looks down at her with his thick Irish robe. He says, "Yes, my dear, I am."
Aww.
And I think the girls ordered Cokes one at a time all night long to have them drink in the room. There were a whole lot of line items on the bill, that's all I remember. Anyway, there's been so many times she's made me proud. More than I can count. From her days in youth soccer, she was in the youth soccer team. When Haley, I think, Sierra was on that team with her, and a lot of her friends were on that team, and they won several championships And I have to tell you, I know a lot of you in this room have had kids in sports. And those times you wake up at 4:30 in the morning and drive 45 minutes to a 6 a.m. game in a drizzle that's freezing and sticking to your windshield, and you're sitting out there watching your kid play sports. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I would rather go to those games than go to a Royals playoff game or a Chiefs playoff game. So. This girl, you have to know that in the 4 summers prior to her 4 years in high school, gave her time to people less fortunate and people who needed her. So I knew she'd be a good nurse. Bob Hill, who was her officiant tonight, was our minister at church and who baptized her. And with her church group, she went to help people out after Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. And she helped several families and several churches down in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. It's been a couple of weeks down there working during the summer. The following year, she, and I know Lizzie's here, and Lindy and a few others went with the church youth group to Los Angeles, South and Central Los Angeles. They helped babysit kids while homeless moms went to look for jobs. And they actually had to find a homeless person and take them to breakfast and learn their story, help out in a homeless shelter. The next 2 summers, she volunteered at the University of Kansas Hospital in Central Transport, helping patients find their way around the hospital, going up and getting patients from procedures and taking them to their cars and moving them from one room to another where they need to go within the hospital. She was so good at that as a youth volunteer, she made Employee of the Month over people who were adults who got paid to do it. So there are a number of times she made me proud. She was the president of her biomedical group in high school and learned through that she wanted to become a nurse. After toying with several ideas within the healthcare field, she found out that she just loved being with patients. Although I will say this, you can't gross this girl out. I remember very distinctly one time being at home. She came home from school. And she said, "Dad, I had the most awesome day shadowing today." I said, "Really? What did you do?" She said, "I shadowed an autopsy. They let me help resect a liver." I'm hungry. Is there anything to eat? Boy, she's going to be a fine nurse. Then she got a scholarship to Avila. And her mom went to KU for her nursing school, and I think would have liked to have seen her go to KU, but the Avila University program was very good and offered her a very handsome scholarship because of her work in high school. And let's just say the rest is history, that she got the opportunity to go to Avila and meet this fine young man. She worked at nights through school as a nursing aide at the University of Kansas Hospital. How about this? A kid in college with her own paycheck and insurance. How about that? Yeah, right? And then her pinning ceremony, her graduation as an RN BSN, were all very, very proud moments for me. But nothing like tonight. Her grandma used to say, "Make good choices." In all the major choices in her life, she's made exceptional choices. And probably the most important choice of her life, I think, is maybe her best one.
No.
Tyler, I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years. I've gotten to know your family. I know what kind of great people you're from. I know what kind of love exists within your family and your blended family. I know what kind of a man you are. You know, every dad worries what his daughter's going to bring home. The guy with the 26 piercings who says, "Hi, my name's Spike," and I'm a drummer. So she brings home this gentle mountain and
Caught a bear.
Yeah, there.
And as my friend Jeff said back here, if you needed to make a 4th and 1, he would just ask for Tyler's wedding party in front of him.
Our team doesn't know.
So welcome to the family. I have, as dads do, concerns. I know his nickname is Wiz and hers has been Mo, and I do not want her to be called Mo Wiz.
Too late.
Dads think about these things.
That's a great nickname.
Mo Wiz.
Mo Wiz.
Mo Wiz.
They weren't thinking it before.
You did.
Well, let's just say that it is said that a parent's job is to bring a functional adult into the world who will make a world a better place. And if that is a parent's responsibility, then I think my mother and I can take great comfort in the child we've raised and the choices she's made. And so I want to tell you with all my heart, I love you, Morgan Whisenhunt.
Love you too.
You're almost her height. You're her height.
It's like bottles.
Oh, hey.
Lauren, our home girl.
Yes.
Alright. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Morgan's big sister. Or actually, we refer to me as her older sister because I've been receiving hand-me-ups from her since 5th grade. I'm her matron of honor. Couldn't be more honored. When I was little, when I was younger, I was relentless on this one wish. It had to be like 4 or 5 years. Every birthday, when I was blowing out my candles, every eyelash, I blew off my finger, every penny I threw into a fountain, I wished for a kitten. This is going somewhere. And when I was in 6th grade, a box of kittens was left in front of Morgan's sleepwear, and I finally got my kitten. But long before that, when my stepdad Wayne and my mom were dating and they told me they were going to get married, I started wishing for a little brother or sister. And I remember telling them that, and I wasn't young enough, or I wasn't old enough to understand that they didn't think they'd be able to have any children. And I remember after they got married, I wished every birthday, every eyelash, every penny I threw into a fountain for a little brother and sister. And so when Morgan was born, she was my very and I loved taking care of Morgan. I liked to feed her, I liked to give her baths, I even liked to change diapers. I was 7 and I just loved having this real life baby doll to take care of. And I remember reading to her at bedtime, and this one night when there was a tornado siren that went off, I rushed into her room, reached into this crib I could barely even see over, and flipped her over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes and headed straight into the basement before my parents could even wake up and realize what was going on. So obviously knowing her from the day she was born, I've had the opportunity to watch her grow and change and mature into the wonderful woman she is today. From when I was helping giving her a bottle, to when I was reading her Harry Potter at bedtime, through her awkward years when she wore way too much eyeliner. She wore masks through college and following her mom's footsteps, becoming a nurse. Yes. I'm so proud to call her my little sister. She's smart and generous and caring. She has a heart of gold. And she puts thought, effort, and dedication into everything she does. And I know Morgan will approach her new role as wife in the same way. Tyler, I can't thank you enough for making Morgan happy. You're smart and compassionate, loyal and funny. Before tonight, I obviously knew that you loved Morgan very much, but as I was standing up here, watching you look at her, I could just feel the love you had for her. You're everything and more that I could have wished for my little sister. Before tonight, you guys have been many things to each other. Acquaintance, friend, companion, dancing partner. You've laughed, cried, matured, and become stronger as a result of one another. Today's not only a celebration of where you are now, but the road ahead. And even though I've only been happily married for 2 years, I can't put into words how amazing it is to be married to the person that God made for you. The love is almost overwhelming at times, but it's also hard at times. But you can see all these people that are here with you today that took a vow earlier to love and support you through this life that you guys have started together tonight. And I can't wait to see where this great adventure that marriage is takes you. So let's toast to the beautiful love that was solidified tonight in marriage before all of us. With Tyler and Morgan. Cheers!
Yeah,
There we go.
Lindy.
Those two speeches are hard to follow. Mine's gonna be short because I don't want to stand up here and ugly cry in front of everyone. Oh, my phone closed. I had a paper copy, but okay, here we go. So I'm Lindy. Morgan and I have been best friends for 10 years. Mom, you still owe us $100 each.
Yes.
Because she bet that we wouldn't be this close after 10 years.
I'm working on that overtime.
And I need that $100 right now for this wedding. So we met in the 7th grade. I had glasses and Morgan had a middle part and she wore too much eyeliner. That's literally in my speech. I helped her remove the middle part and get rid of the eyeliner. So there was something about our friendship that made my mom and Cheryl and Dwayne question whether Morgan and I were an item. Yeah, so apparently wanting to spend every single day and night together was not normal. In high school, they finally figured out that we liked men. Those 4 years, we were inseparable to say the least. When Morgan told me she chose to go to Avila, I was really sad because I was hoping she would go to KU with me, but she didn't. And for the first time in 6 years, we were going to be separated. So freshman year of college came and went. Sophomore year came around, and she's like, "Yeah, I met this football player." And I was like, "I don't know how to pronounce his last name or say it, or spell it, or I don't know." I took it kind of lightly, she's just dating someone. Until she grabbed me by the arms and she's like, "No, Lindy, I really, really like him." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess we're doing this thing." And ever since that day on, they've just grown more and more in their love. It took Tyler and I a while to open up to each other. I realized over time that we're a lot alike. I think that's why Morgan gravitates towards us. So she brings out the absolute best in everyone in her life. She has an open heart and loving arms that she will gladly wrap around a stranger. I know, sorry. She would gladly wrap around a stranger, which she does every day at work. She always looks for the good, except when she's hangry. Morgan, you are the absolute best friend, the most loving daughter, and a stunning bride. No one deserves this more than you. Wrap this up. I know Tyler will take care of you for all the days that follow and love you with everything he has. So cheers to your always, and I love you both very much. Love you too.
All the glasses.
Ben, you up next?
Oh, I'm up.
Yep.
I didn't write anything down. Hi. My name is Ben. I'm a groomsman, and I've known Tyler and Morgan for a long time, and I know this is your all's night, and I'm happy for you all. But I would like to give more of a shout out to the supporting characters in your all's life. I want to give a shout out to Randy and Gayla. You guys have been the best to Tyler's friends and myself included. We love you all to death, and my mom loves you all too, and we want to thank you all for that. The Daughtries, you all don't know me, probably a good thing. But seeing how awesome Morgan is and how caring she is to us and Liz especially, you obviously have all raised a great daughter, and we applaud you for that too. And to just keep it short and sweet, I want to give a praise to Morgan and Wiz. You all show great love for each other, and it's awesome. And you guys don't make me pay rent even though I'm there every day, basically. I'm poor. And if you don't know a lot about Wiz, really, and I don't think anybody said it yet, he's kind of a dork. Everybody's gonna know what I'm saying, but hey, Tyler, Morgan, may the force be with you all.
A notepad. So it's hard to believe that the guy I once knew as the biggest dude in school and was intimidated by is now considered a brother of mine and is getting married today. And I didn't think he would be asking me to give a speech at his wedding 7 to 8 years later. And I wrote it in about a week. Really, I procrastinated until last night. But in all seriousness, Tyler has always been one of my best friends. He's always been there for me, along with the rest of his family whenever I needed him. And Morgan, I know we only met once before I joined the military, but every time me and Tyler talked after that, he never shut up about you. So from then on, I knew that you were probably the one for him. And I just wish you guys a happy marriage, and thank you for picking him.